Hello there everybody, this is Peter Beckenham, the village marketer, and as always talking to you from my little Thai village way up near the Cambodian border. And my topic for today, 10 public speaking tips for absolute beginners. I've been speaking just recently with people who were, to put it politely, petrified of speaking in public, okay? And they want to know, what can they do, Peter? How can we do this? I mean, I'm trying to run a business online, but I'm scared. I'm an introvert. I don't feel comfortable in talking to people, etc. So here they are. Here's 10 tips, okay? And I'm not going to share lots of stories with you today. I mean, I'll probably sneak one or two in, but here we go. The first one is learn to relax and try to remove your nerves. Now, it's easy to say this, right? But here's a couple of thoughts for you. One, put your palms up like this, okay? And take a deep breath in. This is not when you're in talking to people. This is before you do the presentation or before you do your speech, right? So backstage, take a big breath. And only when you exhale, just repeat the letter T. T, 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 T. T, 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 T. Sounds pretty stupid, eh? But you know what? It actually works. It actually relaxes you, and more importantly, it actually enables you to focus. The second thing is eye contact. Now, if you are really concerned and scared about doing public presentation, then I can tell you, you're probably thinking people are watching you right now and then judging you. Well, the worst thing you should do is look them in the eye. I mean, do this gradually. Let me put my glasses on. I want to show you something. When people are wearing their glasses, yeah, I mean, I'm 72, I'm going to wear glasses, right? When people are wearing their glasses, don't look them right in the eye. Look at the top of their glasses, okay? Or look at their forehead here. Look at that one, okay? Because when you do that, people still think you're looking at them, but you're not being blown away by the look in their eye, right? You're avoiding that. But it still gives you the chance to make eye contact with them. Now, this is especially important if it's just one-on-one. But if it's with you and an audience of people, a couple of things you should be thinking about is this. By all means, make contact with people in the front row. Just look along, okay? Don't look them right in the eye. Just look along and nod, etc., right? And then look at the back row, etc. But once again, do not try to make contact directly with anyone in particular. If you're nervous, if you're not nervous, by all means, how you doing? You can talk whenever you want to, right? This is not the topic of this live. This is for people who are nervous about it and scared about public speaking. The next one is a tip that I actually got from a movie 16 years ago. Okay, it was called Made in Manhattan. Jennifer Lopez, Ralph Fiennes, okay? And there's a story about this politician who falls in love with this maid at the hotel, even though he doesn't think she's a maid, right? And the bottom line is this. The maid's got this little boy, okay? Pretty of a cutie, right? And he strikes up a conversation with this high-placed politician, and he shares with him the fact that he's scared about speaking in public. And the politician says, he has this, right? In his hand, he's got a paper clip, okay? He said, I use this all the time, okay? And what I do, I keep it in my hand, and whenever I think I'm talking too fast or I'm not listening carefully, I stab myself in the hand with it gently, okay, with this paper clip. And it reminds me, and it gives me a thing, okay? So try it. I've tried that a couple of times, actually. I mean, I'm not sure whether it really works or whether it was just the thing from the movie, but anyway, that's it. The next thing, second tip, know your content inside out. Truly know it inside out. The better you know your content, the more comfortable and confident you will be, okay? 3, don't give a speech. Tell a story. By all means, you can recite before you go to your presentation what you want to say. By all means, do this, right? Recite it and learn it, etc. But then don't just say it like that. You've got to say it in the form of a story. In other words, every story has got a beginning, and it's got a middle, and it's got an end. And you've got to make sure your beginning gets people's attention. The middle is where you deliver what you got attention about, and in the end, you summarize and tell them what you just told them, all right? So just think of that in terms of presentation, rather than trying to memorize 5, 6 or 7 pieces of paper. That's stupid, right? You get yourself in all sorts of trouble because it's too darn difficult to remember where you are, okay? And by the way, the other thing is this. Have a sheet of paper by all means. I mean, here's mine, okay? This is my bullet points for today, okay? There it is. Hey, I don't mind showing it because that's where it is. And I can just quickly look at them and remind myself what I'm talking about next, right? And that's what you can do. So have a piece of paper with bullet points in it. And you haven't got to hide it, by the way. People, you're not in a Hollywood production. When you're doing your presentation, if you're doing a Facebook Live, for example, then just be totally open and honest with people, saying, hang on, let me just check my notes. I want to make sure I don't forget something, right? People will respect that because you're being darn authentic, all right? You're giving the message you want to give, but you're giving it in a way that's truly you. Next one, visualize. Before you do your presentation, before you do your speech, visualize and see yourself actually presenting a darn thing. And the more you can do this, the more powerful the impact it will have for you. If you don't believe this is true, let me tell you, you are out on a limb. All the top athletes, all the top executives, probably all our politicians, they are all visualize what it's going to be like. And especially they try and visualize the feelings they get when they deliver something really well. So visualize and see yourself and get the feeling of, wow, I did a good job. Because that will truly help you and give you confidence. And the more you can do this, the better prepared you will be for when you actually give your presentation, whether it's one-on-one or to a group of 100 or a group of 1,000. It doesn't matter, right? Next one, by the way, when you're practicing, also practice maybe in front of a mirror, or perhaps just use a phone, okay, and video yourself. Stick it on a tripod and visualize yourself. See yourself what you're doing. Doing it that way, you can actually see whether in fact you're making some silly mistakes, whether your body language is wrong, are you looking at the audience the right way, all this sort of stuff. And if you don't like to see yourself, then there's some free audio software called Audacity, A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y, Audacity.com. Go and get that downloaded to your system, and you can record yourself in audio and listen to what you say, if nothing else, okay? Next one, number 6, I'm going to go quickly. Exercise before your presentation. Now, I don't mean go out there and do a 10-mile run, okay? But do a little bit of light exercise. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because it'll send some oxygen to your brain, right? And when you send oxygen to your brain, it circulates your blood through it and it makes you think a bit clearer. And that will help you significantly, especially when those moments happen in your presentation when you get lost, okay? Because you will, and we all do. And we've got to think, where the heck was I? Oh, yeah, point number 6, all right? But if you've done a bit of exercise, then I can tell you, you'll be thinking clearer and quicker and be able to recover quicker, all right? Number 7, don't start talking straight away. Now, I know you're probably busting to get the darn thing done, right? Because you want to get out of there. But if you really want to make an impact, do not start talking right away. Take your time. Even in front of the people you're talking to, take a breath. Take a breath. They'll wait for you. They will wait for you. And it might seem like an eternity, but if you just wait 5 or 10 seconds before you start saying anything, I can tell you, you will not rush things. You will not lose your place straight away, because that can totally destroy you, right? So don't start talking straight away. Gather yourself. Breathe in carefully. Get some confidence. Yes, I can do this, right? And then start. Number 8, never, ever start with an apology. Like, oh, look, I'm a bit new here, so I'm sorry about that. Do not do that. Please don't do that. You will absolutely disengage your audience immediately. Don't look for sympathy if you're scared. Get off your butt. Practice what I'm telling you. Do the things and get out there and deliver it. Don't go out there with an excuse, because that's what it's going to be perceived as, right? So never, ever start with an apology. Don't do that. Number 9, Second last one, hang in there with me. Number 9, always build on your strengths. Just know this. If you know what you're talking about, then your audience will very quickly pick that up. If you don't know what you're talking about, again, your audience will very quickly pick that up as well. So do not try to fake it. Do not try to scurry your way through things that you don't know what you're talking about. That's why I said earlier to you, practice what you're doing, know what you're talking about, and focus on your strengths. And if whatever your strength is, stick with that. That's not just your confidence, but that's also how you're going to deliver to your audience. Because when you know what you're talking about, you can also deliver it with some passion. And when you deliver with passion, that's contagious. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very important part of getting people engaged with you. All right? Now, my last one, and thanks for hanging in there with me. My last one is, you did it. You've actually done the presentation, did it. But do not forget one very important thing. Say thank you. Thank them for their time. Thank them for their courtesy of listening to you. Thank them for their engagement. Thank them for coming, whatever it is. And don't forget, if you've got a call to action, make sure they got it. If you want to contact them, give them contact details or an email address or a website address or whatever it may be. But the most important thing is, don't finish your presentation and boom, get off the stage as quickly as you can because you're worried about whether you're stuffed up or not. Don't do that, all right? Stop. Thank them for their courtesy, thank them for their attention, and offer to help them any way you can once you finish the presentation. When you come down afterwards, you want to speak to me by all means. Okay, there's 10 tips. Do they work? They really do. Does it solve your problem completely? No, it doesn't, because you've got to keep working at it. So thank you very much for sharing with me, sticking with me. I hope you found it of some help there, and I'll talk to you again in the near future. All the very best wishes from Thailand, and good luck with your public speaking. Okay, bye for now.